What?
Do that, and then,
I like
if the donkey's late to the party, you still have a backup.
And you get some juice. Donkey juice? Is that where we're going with it?
No one was going there, no. Thanks, Joey.
Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm
Next is Camilla.
Still Joey Evans.
I'm Zee Garcia. Hi.
All right, folks, we have a great contest we're going to start this episode out with. This is a contest from from Launch Tabletop is the name. And to enter this contest, you need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put the word prints. But before I tell you the question you need to answer, I want to talk about what this is. These are prints. This is a new company, and you may have seen their stuff in the background of our video. And what this company does is they're making these different plates with different pictures on them. This is a really nice picture. This is from Jackie Davis. She's known for Cubitos. And this is a cowboy. Give me another one.
Cowgirl.
I believe it's a... Who cares?
Cowpers.
I believe it's not.
You can also get them horizontal like this. This is from Miguel Coimbra, who's best known for Seven Wonders.
Yeah, lots of goodies.
And next, Nature Game.
This is Tanya Walker. This one's not one that you can win. The other ones are. But my favorites, and I'm a little biased here, is Andrew Bosley.
Oh,
do you have the,
that's nice.
They don't go side by side, but there's... So each of these people have done a separate group of 3 prints, and you'll win all 9 of them. It's a worldwide contest. You'll get all 9 prints from those 3, Andrew Bosley, Miguel Coimbra, and Jackie Davis. But what makes these things so good, besides the...
They're metal.
You almost died.
They're awesome.
Want you to know, did your life flash before your eyes?
No!
Well, it should have.
Why? Are they also explosive?
What's going on? But they do. So on the back of these, there's a big metal thing here, and they come with magnets, and you can take one down and put one up pretty easily.
Show you.
So he's going to do it with one hand.
Take one down, pass it around.
Take one off, like
so
that.
Strong.
And you see the magnet that's up there. That magnet comes
I'll
with
put
each
up this
one.
beauty. Here we go. Check this out. Bam!
Oh, that's nice.
And they
One
stick,
hand.
They stick really well.
Yeah.
I have these. I have a set of the Bosley ones on my house, and I put them up, and I was like, "Oh, they're slightly crooked."
Jackie Davis.
And then fix them.
Yep, you can just move them up, move them down. Yeah, they stick anywhere on the back, so you can move them around.
I really, really like these.
Fun.
This is so to enter this contest again. Emails at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word prints, Prints, not the artist formerly known as, and then answer the question, what is the name of the Kickstarter exclusive finish that's available in this campaign? I don't even know that, but you can check out the link to the campaign in the description below. So this is from Stellar Prints. Fantastic product. Keep an eye out. Maybe you'll see a Dice Tower picture on one of these in the future.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really.
Like maybe?
Oh,
Like maybe?
I'm not...
What was that?
You okay?
No, is he winking?
You all right?
Is that like, is that what happened?
Yes, your contact.
Did your line flash before your eyes?
Her eye. Just wonderful.
I want to know. I want to know, do we really have one?
All right.
I don't know about
Also,
Your wink.
so if you're not familiar with what crowdsurfing is, this is a show where we take a look at different projects that are on Kickstarter and GameFound and BackerKit that are ending in the next 9-10 days or so. And we're about to do that. But before we do that, let's take a look at one of the projects from our sponsor, BackerKit. Okay, folks, we're taking a look once again here at Mini Museum 5. One thing we want to really push here is the fact that there's only a couple days left on this. And if you notice here at the top, there's some exclusive specimens for backers. If you don't know what we're talking about, this is like buying your own museum. I'm really interested in this so much, where you get all these little pieces of different things, and it goes through here. It talks all about the different parts of it. This is the 5th time they've done this. You know, people are interested in it. Do you want a piece of a Boeing 747 or something from Walt Disney's apartment? This is just neat stuff. And so, again, just a couple days left. There's a couple sizes you can get, the large one, a touch one, the small one. Also, they are, the last couple days, there's an educational donation program and a way that you can help. You can pledge to an educator pool here. You can share the collection on Twitter. And there's other things that they're trying to get here, like this cutting board here. on this 3D scan of this fossil. So some really neat stuff that you can add on here. And you're going to want to check this out. Like I said, it's ending in the next couple days. So check out Mini Museum 5, the 5th edition, on BackerKit. As a side note, the Dice Tower also has a BackerKit project up, and our BackerKit is closing in 1 month from today. So if you don't want to get involved with our Pledge Matcher and get our stuff, it's closing in 1 month, well, from tomorrow. But assume it's today.
Good stuff.
All right, let's take a look at projects. Here we go. First, let's take a look at this officially licensed skirmish miniature game set in the techno-fantasy Mutant Chronicles universe.
Warzone Eternal.
With a beautiful 777 backers.
Ooh.
So it's a straight up miniatures game,
Yep.
measuring, all of that stuff that you can see the person with the ruler out. It's a neat looking miniature game. I don't know too much about Mutant Chronicles. I know they had a board game actually that they made based on Mutant Chronicles,
Really?
the intellectual property.
That didn't
go anywhere really, but
Well, it's because it was supposed to come out in America. It came out in Europe, and
is that right?
then we finally got a copy of it here. By that time, the buzz was gone completely. It was a weird one.
Got it. But yeah, if you're into minis, we've got actually a couple of different projects we're talking about today,
lot.
which are miniatures games
Yeah.
proper.
I'm going to be backing the Supreme Necromages for $2,000. That way, I
fun
can
word.
Whoa.
get my own unit in the game
You need
with
to
their
do that.
approval.
I agree.
cool.
Needs to happen.
That's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot. But you get your own unit.
Has anyone done it? Guess yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
At least one person. You think two?
2.
Did you
One.
look earlier?
No, I
One.
didn't.
I didn't
was
look.
curious.
It is
One.
That one?
one. One
One.
person has done it.
Well, the
But
other
there's-
guy backed out then.
The other one you saw? So there's still 2 left. There's 2 left.
Hurry.
All right. RustBots, the robot building card game.
This video is straight fire.
I was laughing. It was so hard because it was like such a flashback to my childhood. Like I can just like hear my parents saying like half these things
Oh.
to me. Like it was just like
They know some of these
that
southern
hit.
things like,
Oh, that hit.
it's like putting socks on a rooster. I mean, all these things are like,
There were a
man.
lot of euphemisms in there, like sayings, I
Yeah.
guess. Like
One of y'all
something.
windier than a horse eating corn. Like,
was-
man, got that on the road trips. One of y'all back there.
Why is this
windier
guy
than a corn
walking
eating
like he's
horse.
about to knife all of them?
I
It's a
know.
pretty funny video. Like the
It is.
voiceover's
Fantastic.
funny.
It's really well done.
It's a weird style, the animation, but the voiceover is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked this video. I thought it was very funny.
Is that Will Wheaton?
That's the dad.
It looked a lot like Will Wheaton. All right.
So yeah, the game I'm not so sure about. It's one of those like putting together parts to build robots. The
It's
style here is the thing that threw me off. And again, I thought that video was excellent, very funny. But there were like 4 different styles here clashing.
yeah.
I mean, that background, the sort of rusted metal background, this kind of artwork, which is like Art Deco, retro sci-fi. There's another style which is cartoonier than that. It was all over the place.
I will say I don't know if the background color has some meaning. Like if one color tends to be a certain robot part or something. But in general, I did like it shows the sketches and kind of the history of how they came up with it.
Yeah.
And I really liked that art style. I thought that was really cool.
It looks, I watched the gameplay. It looks very lucky, like you're just drawing cards.
Right,
Yeah.
that was
hoping for
kind of my
best.
concern with it. And then,
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to discard the right one or just having something.
Right.
And so definitely seemed kind of like that right there. I thought that was so cool looking. I wish we saw more of that kind of come through in it. But anyway, yeah, as far as the gameplay, it did seem really lucky and really light. One that I wouldn't mind trying, but I don't quite know what it has that's going to keep me coming to the game kind of thing. Not that it
Yeah.
doesn't have the replayability, but just
Seems-
what would keep me coming
seems
back.
very family weight or kids,
Right.
you know?
It's a lot of charm in this project,
There is,
though. I will
right,
say that.
absolutely.
They're coasting.
It's cute.
Not coasting, but like, I got a lot of charm from it. It's not a game that I'm going to badmouth, even though the game doesn't look that strong, because there's a lot of charm in there.
But the whole thing is like one of the whole quest is you dropped your coin at the bottom of the lake. So you need to make a robot with a light as a head and a grappler
propeller.
arm.
Yeah.
And it's cute. Kids would like that type of thing. I don't know who the audience is, but
And
that
you know,
seems like
that's really fair right there. Is that what keeps it coming back? That it is so light and lucky and maybe quick, and that those quick family weight, not even family weight, I mean just very light family weight even, you know, kind of game. So yeah, no, it's definitely intriguing for sure.
Yep.
All right. Dead Cells, the roguelite board game.
Oh,
yeah, buddy.
Tom, have you not?
I was going to say, if anything, the fact that this game exists made me buy and play the video game. I didn't know anything about it, so I saw that this was announced.
Is it good?
Yes. So you are this character here. I don't
died,
know,
right?
Well, you die like all the time.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
And as you it's like Metroid, you run through and you kill a bunch of stuff, and eventually you'll die. And when you die, you come back, but some of the stuff you will eventually get to keep. The problem is you don't get to keep everything. And in fact, you have to like save up to get things. And I found like, I have to basically play this and die 5 times in a row before I get the next thing. I'm starting to get a little bored. I've stopped playing it because it's getting repetitive, and also I'm getting far enough now where I get to these boss guys, and they just decimate me. I'm not good enough, I guess, at the game.
Yeah.
It's a roguelite, so it's that idea of cyclical, many short runs, you know, like Hades being probably the most popular one right now.
I had more fun with Hades, though.
Hades is a very much a top tier, though this is as well. But yeah, Hades, you've probably played that. Dead Cells is similar, though it's pixel art, though, right? It's like this pixel side scroller.
This doesn't look like pixel art.
I don't think it's that pixely.
The original video game, I thought it was pixely, right?
Is it a side scroller?
Maybe it is.
Yeah, it's like a Metroidvania type thing.
Yeah, it's very much a side scroller, and you go through different levels, and when you get to the end of a level, that's when you can bank and save stuff. So if you don't even make it, now when I play, I always get to the end of the first level.
Right.
I can do it in my sleep. But I'm trying to get there as fast as I can because you get there fast. Anyway,
Okay.
we're talking about the video game.
The board game, or the card game, kind of, I think it looks excellent. I think it's a really interesting looking idea. I love the art. I love the look. I really like this idea of traversing those boards and seeing what you encounter is very Clank-esque. And then the lining up the cards and the fight lines.
Yes.
In that animation, you get to see that, like, this line attacked here. And then when you eliminate that guy, the rest of them scoot up. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that right there. That looks really interesting. I thought it looked fantastic.
And then at the end, you choose where to go, which of those doors. And also the deluxe on these, it's good. Those acrylic tokens are
Yes,
nice.
I agree. They're all renderings, but they look very good.
Yeah.
Now, I would have blown this off, I think, in a sense of like, I'm sure that all looks good, but who's the company? The company is Scorpion Mask. Mm-hmm. This is actually their first Kickstarter. They're mostly known for party-style games. Or
smaller games, yeah.
Wow.
We just played one, what was that, during the marathon.
The Stay Cool is theirs,
Stay
right?
Cool was theirs.
Oh.
They're probably best known for Decrypto.
Right.
Okay. Have they been on GameFound at all, or is this their first crowdfunding in
I think
general?
this is their first crowdfunding.
Okay.
Which makes sense. The big license, they're going to need to front load kind of what they need to produce this. Because this is larger than anything they've done before, I'm pretty sure.
As far as I know, yes.
But they are a company that's put out games. They understand that chain. So, yeah, I'm psyched for it. I think it looks really good.
Same here. That looks good. That painted mini's nice, too.
Those are awesome.
Those are cool.
That looks like an amiibo. Yeah. All right, cool. Unhappy campers. Camping has never been so miserable. Just as a heads up.
I agree.
Camping is always miserable.
100% of the time.
Strongly disagree. No. I love camping.
Best thing the outdoors
The
give
next
us is
time I
s'mores.
plan to camp in my life is never.
Okay, camping in South Florida is terrible.
Nope. I don't.
It's so terrible.
The best thing about the outdoors is that that's where the trees are and you can chop them down and make indoors.
You guys hurt my soul.
Well, so much for the Dice Tower camping trip.
Oh my God.
Canceled.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, okay. The game itself is about unhappy campers. Is this about people who like us or like us?
It actually looks like a card game,
It does.
You are making sets. You can do a run. You can do a three of a kind, play cards, and you establish camps by doing that. So it's very much a card game. But then on top of that, about here, you get to action cards. And then
Right.
there's like mean stuff, the usual like mess with your opponents, hate your friends kind of stuff. And then they even have the adults only pack or whatever.
Well,
of
I'm like,
course.
all right,
Yeah.
you had a very clean idea, and the more I read, the more I was like, oh wait, I don't think this is what I thought it was.
Right. It takes like a turn.
Right.
does.
As a camper, are you interested in this?
As a camper,
happy
it's hard
camper.
because I think that there's things about it. There are camping experiences. Like I can tell you about the time that I camped in a tornado, and it was really like crappy in the tent, filling up with water and like all this stuff. So there are those kind of terrible stories that every outdoorsman has. And so there is that relatability to this. It's like, oh my gosh, and now they're fun stories, but back then it was awful. So there is kind of that thematic pull to it, but the gameplay, no. Again, I'm not really into like hurt your neighbors and then it
Yeah.
kind of has a phase 10 feel and like, oh, you need to get a run and a set together and this and that, and I don't really care for that either. So gameplay wise, this isn't one that I'm super intrigued by, but I think the theme and the story about how it came out is very, very relatable.
I mean, there's no reason to hurt your neighbor. I mean, you're going camping. You're all hurting enough.
Oh my
Right?
gosh. No, just drink your coffee
Coffee comes from the outside.
from nature.
Oh, this one was
I'm back
canceled.
in.
All right, we'll skip it since it
No,
was
this was
canceled.
not.
Oh.
It says cancel. Was
That
this-
must have
No.
just
Just
happened.
No.
I was looking at it like,
Yeah, I looked at this
like
earlier this
really
morning.
early.
What?
Yeah.
Why was it? Give me an update. That
I
was.
backed it.
Oh.
Canceling for now. We will be back.
No.
I was backing it.
Were you really?
No, we weren't.
Okay, this
I was
one,
all in. I was an angel investor.
this one
That's why we
looked
canceled.
good. This area control with a secret selection, very interesting. I'm like, that's.
But if you're
Kind of surprised they canceled this.
There's some things
It wasn't
going
like
on.
blowing the doors off, but anyway, yeah, the game looked interesting, but I guess we don't have
I
to
did
talk
too.
about it.
It's R&R Games. We'll talk about it next time it shows up.
Guess I need a new pick of the week.
Ooh, Z, this is my favorite theme park game. I think is Wishland.
Yeah,
Right,
I know.
right.
Trust me, everyone knows at
yeah,
this point.
we got the memo.
This is like a Dice Tower yearbook if you scroll
This
down.
is.
I'm just going to
Oh,
stay quiet.
did they
This
mention
is
it
the-
down here?
Keep
happy
going.
campaign.
That's
Camille-
a miniature review. Actually, those meeples were you.
Camille and I are just going to stay
Keep
quiet
going.
because
Wait,
you
what?
guys
What's
are
that
Purples are based on me.
Purple, that one. That's you.
That's a wizard.
So are you.
same difference.
All right,
I
keep
told you to
going.
keep it secret.
Keep going. You're not
Where
going to miss
is it?
it.
Here
Can we
we
look at
go.
the project here?
And they did pull your yearbook photos, by the way, for all of you. I don't know where they got these photos.
I know. I was looking
Yours
good.
is like 10 years old.
There we
You
go.
look so young there. How
Chris
old are you
is
there?
thinking
I'm
about
like
stuff.
12.
That's what I thought.
Oh wow, this is
Are we sponsoring this?
I love it.
okay. Well,
Anyway,
What do you
so-
think about it, Tom?
it's
No,
okay.
The original game is very, very neat. I like it a lot. It's got a lot going on. It's kind of, again, sort of a card game plus. And it's engaging. It's got a fun amount of interaction, set collection, scoring from a bunch of different places. This project is very much reprint forward. And by that I
Really?
mean, they're like, here's the game. Here's how the original game works. Here's all. Now let's talk about the expansion. There's like more
Okay.
than half this page I felt was dedicated to the original game, which is fine. I'm not saying anything negative by that. I just the game's hard to get. It was hard.
So
to
it
get.
is out of print.
Yeah, I mean they printed and it was gone. That was
Okay.
it. Like you got it through Kickstarter and that was that. So the expansion
nice.
here is adding a sideboard, a little skinny, I guess, sideboard, and some extra cards, like a new type of thing.
Okay.
Which again was honestly kind of hard to find the information for because I felt like I was getting a lot of the original game info.
Right.
But it's good. I would recommend this. I think this is a solid, fun game. If you like this theme, if you are someone who enjoys card games that splay out, that take up a lot of room, that kind of card game, I think you're going to like it. And Tom likes this one too.
What's Ivory Core?
Really
Ivory
interesting.
core is some stuff that goes in between the layers that sandwich to make a card.
It's made of ivory.
No, that's illegal.
Not helpful. Thank you.
There's some stuff
Why would that
some
be?
companies
Is that a
make.
stretch goal? Why would that be?
It was a stretch goal. These are stretch goals unlocked.
Because I've seen like black core as a stretch goal. I don't know why ivory. I thought ivory core was standard. Is it not?
I don't know. Maybe the
Maybe I
cards
don't
are.
Maybe they're just better.
Maybe.
All I needed was 4 more cards for this game, or 16 more cards. So the game has you play through these decks of cards that show up. Mm-hmm. And then at the very end of the game, the very last round, you need to shuffle the decks because there wasn't enough to draw for the last round.
Oh.
And I said something effective, why didn't you just add 4 more cards each deck? And they said, maybe we will someday. So here you go. But it is a fun game.
That one's really
Yeah,
interesting.
this printing apparently already is the 3rd edition, they say.
Really?
Like Wishland 3rd edition is what they're showing here. I'm not sure what 2nd edition was. I don't think I saw that. But even the first time we played it, which was first printing, I'm pretty sure, the game was solid. So if they tightened it up, cleaned up some of the, the rule book even, or the cards or what have you, I'm sure this is a good buy. So I would recommend it.
There's a lot of tokens, almost too many of the sets of tokens if you get all those extra ones. But
Yeah, because they're player colors, right? I mean,
Oh, so you want your specific
What's it
player
doing now?
color. Got it.
How's it doing?
it is at 84, 1,400 backers. That's the bigger number there.
Okay.
All
that's
right,
good.
Axolotl.
Axolotl.
I'm not going to try it.
That's what the animal is called. So those little critters, that fella.
That looks a little creepy, actually.
Yeah, that's a raptor.
Yeah, not a raptor. That's like that little guy who comes up and he's like real cute, like, oh, and then he opens his mouth and his teeth.
And you have an axe.
It's got a smile, though.
This one, the more like,
You like
I don't
this,
know why.
you?
I do, and I don't know why.
It's the severed limbs, isn't
It's
it?
not, maybe it is. It's like regrowing back.
It really
it's like,
is.
It's
That's
like
what
the
they
first
do.
person. I don't know, but this is one I'm like, I'll take that, and then battle card game. Like, the more and more I read about this, the more it sucked me in. And you could just really see, I think, the passion behind it came through. I mean, it's a game that he made to play with his son, and sometimes I think that's like, okay, another story. But I think you did see his excitement, and you kind of see the passion come through. And I was absolutely charmed by this by the end of it. I was like, this is pretty cute.
It's nice that this person's an artist first, and it seems that way. I think it's
Yeah,
their
you could tell.
artwork.
Yeah.
And
Artwork
then
is cute.
picking a very specific theme, like one animal that his kid likes,
Was like obsessed
or
with.
was
Right.
obsessed with or whatever, and then making all this artwork for it. I'm like, okay, that's cute. The game seems run-of-the-mill. I mean,
Exploding kittens,
yeah,
everything else.
I mean, yeah, right. So I do like the puns. I like the titles on the cards. That's
Yeah.
gonna be great and funny once, and then after
Right.
that,
I didn't see the whole it's a family-friendly game.
yeah.
I
Yes,
mention that
yeah.
because Tim Buckley is the artist. He's most well known for Control-Alt-Delete, which has been a webcomic for 15 years probably.
okay.
It is not
Family friendly.
family friendly. I don't know that. I mean,
Okay.
it's also not. It's not particularly a good comic, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about It's a video game-esque comic. I don't particularly like it, but it
Okay.
has its fan. It's been around for a long time. But this is not what the comic looks like at all.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, the comic's about like two guys who play video games, and one of them, and an Xbox that comes to life. It's very weird.
Huh.
All right.
I'd look at it.
Interesting.
All right, disrupt. Although is this dot disrupt, right? They didn't put the dots
Yeah.
here, but it's not in the title up here.
I don't know, and they don't
I don't
say
know.
it when they say disrupt. They don't say it, so
It's on the cover of the box, though.
yeah.
Is the
I
dot
don't know.
on? I
It's
don't know.
just it's a stylistic thing. I don't get it. This is a game that looks. I mean, it looks like a very well finalized, very in-depth game that I don't have any interest in playing. It looks like a straight-up economic game going deep into the way economics works.
See,
Yeah.
this is one that I would look at. I would move past. That whole parody thing is pretty clever. It's funny, but
You like
it'll-
that?
You think
that
that's
puts me
clever?
off.
Okay,
Oh, I
well,
thought
but
it was cute.
here's the thing. I would have walked past it, but the hegemony, I enjoyed that game, but I haven't gone back to play it again. So it's like I don't know where I sit on this. I wouldn't seek it out really
See, I would.
Really?
I am interested in this kind of theme. I like it a lot.
because of hegemony. Because you really
No,
like
he
that one
likes
too.
the
No, I like
economic
economic
games.
games.
Yeah. And this looks like a serious economic game.
But the stock photos on the cards, I am not crazy about. Because see, I know you guys don't like the parody names there, and the meeples are fine, but the stock pictures look like really iStock photo on the cards when you go down the cards here. That
artwork doesn't look particularly different than, say, smartphone.
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Right. It looks
I was
very
trying to figure
similar,
it out.
actually.
It
This is a
does.
similar game a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think I want to try this one.
Yeah, this is not.
With Z.
This one immediately was like, Chris and Tom. This is, tracks and economics.
Yeah.
And you guys have fun.
Oh, that looks good.
Did everyone see how those? That looks good. Everyone see those
I do like
pieces
that.
falling straight into the box? Watch.
That's how I put games away.
That is the best.
You drop
component
all the.
drop.
I love this part right here where the meeples falling perfectly. Boom! And then
And they move. That's the best part of that. Yeah. Yeah, that's really nice.
If I had Doctor Strange powers, this is what I would use them for.
Putting components back in.
Yeah.
Using the power.
So the world would just be destroyed
I like
because this is
it.
what you're doing at home.
This is what I'd be doing. Well,
the demons are attacking streets, so he's like, I'm
here's the
sorting my
thing.
games out.
here's the thing: the world's being destroyed. That's outside. That's like Canada. I'm not going out there.
See, half your friends are gone. Wait, but watch this.
Is there enough to play a 2-player game? We're good. All right. Z, you got to be excited about this one.
Yeah,
Detectives,
this looks
Saints, and
good.
Sinners.
I am excited about this one. Yeah, I actually wasn't sure they were making any more expansions. There's the base game, 2 expansions already with extra cases each, and
Yep.
they've gone ahead and made another one here. This is a little interesting because one of these 3, Cloak and Daggered, apparently was a standalone case as well. For some
Really?
time, they considered, I guess, as per their page here, doing standalone singular cases. That didn't seem to pan out as they were hoping. So they're no longer offering that on its own. Now you can get it as one of these 3. But if you have that case, you can buy this Saints Pledge where they'll sell you the box, everything in it, without that. And you have that already, so you can just pop it in there if you want to.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Huh.
And then the Sinner Pledge has all 3.
So basically, if you
I like
already
that.
bought this, you're a saint.
That's right. If you're a sinner, then you didn't get it and you need all 3.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
3 new cases is nice. Honestly, my only complaint here is that this is no longer fully illustrated by Vincent Dutrait. 2 of these 3 cases have other artists, but that's a me thing. Like, I love that this game had wall-to-wall Vincent
good.
Dutrait artwork. And now with this, you have a couple of other artists who seem to be doing great job.
Yeah, they don't
great
look
work,
bad,
but-
the art, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is a great game. If
I
you've
like this
never
game a
played
lot.
Detective City of Angels, you should try it. It's really solid stuff.
It's a
and then
fun
you can
game.
get the extra stuff that they've added in some of the previous Kickstarters too, like the screen and some extra decks of cards and stuff.
And the stuff's on foreteller too.
yeah,
course,
the
which is nice,
voiceover,
yeah.
yeah.
Are the cases single play? I'm confused.
Yeah,
Are
pretty
they?
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, so when they
I like
add
this a lot.
So I gotta find
case,
someone
it's
else.
only one.
So you can play, like I could, and I've done this, I'll play a case as one of the investigators, and then I can run that case for other people as the chisel, who's the one who's kind of like the
understand.
DM.
But I'm saying the case
Oh.
itself is only one thing. The original had 13, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, this has 3.
But
So
do
this is
you
only 3 scenarios.
Yeah.
but do you need a DM to play, or the chisel? Do you need a
You
chisel?
can also play against, no, you can just play where like the thing gives you a response, and you have to decide if it's the best response or not. So, no, but the best way to play is with
Someone
the
who's
chisel.
played before who is working as the
Yeah.
chisel.
Ideally,
Okay, got it.
that's the way it works. They don't have to have played, but they will spoil the case for themselves
Right.
if they don't, if they
Yeah.
do that.
Okay, I see.
That's the best way to play. There's a couple of ways you can play. You can play co-op. You can play against just the game telling you the responses, or the chisel way, in which it's kind of like a D&D setting with a whodunit. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the feel of the game, I think.
It is.
And
I
it's
really
so
like this
good.
game.
And that person
Have you played?
can.
Yeah, I play this
That
one. I like
person
it a
can
lot.
kind of like help. If somebody's like not doing so well, you can sort of soft help them.
Mm-hmm.
Or if somebody's really savvy, you can be like start playing mind games with them. It's a really great
The
system.
DM can really change the game because he really in this one, where the chiseled or whatever, you really guide them. I really enjoyed this game a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
All right, Kings of Rome. All right, we got some. Hold on to your horses here for war game time.
Yeah, the next couple.
Yeah.
So we're just showing this off to you, and you can decide yourself. At least the board's colorful, but it's a big one.
Yeah, this is a big game. 4 to 6 hours, it said.
Yeah,
It's a
4 to
big
6.
scale.
Oof.
Also, there's a little bit of a lie right here. 2 out of 5. That means 2 out of 5 for this company.
Right.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, 2. This is a big game. There's a lot going on. This is a complex game. This is
If
not
that's
2 out of 5.
Would you hate to see a 5?
Oof.
What's a 5?
Right.
That's insane.
Then our next one we got, this one's doing better, but that's because Worthington knows this is Gettysburg 1863.
Plus, has this not been out before? I thought this might have been a reprint. Maybe not.
It's volume 4, I don't know.
Oh, okay,
This
maybe
one-
it's just part of the series.
This one I thought, I love the Gettysburg. I like everything Gettysburg. And I thought maybe this is the one, but
And you
this
saw the map.
Yes, they said largest map we've ever had. I'm like, this is not a good jumping in point for me.
But if you like Worthington, Worthington actually makes light war games. This is their non-light section, the old school war games. That should tell you enough about it. But if you like that, this is great. I mean,
Yeah, it's so nice.
I think Gettysburg is my favorite battle in history.
Same here.
I gotta tell you, if I was a war gamer and like that was the only part of the hobby I enjoyed, this is the best time to be a war gamer.
Yeah.
You can be on Kickstarter every other week. I got
I know.
2 new games available. It's just
So good.
amazing. Like it's an embarrassment of riches when it comes to war gaming and how many you can get that are on mounted boards with nice tokens.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
So yeah, it's fantastic.
Let's go down to a smaller war game here. Tablut, ancient Norse board game, and 4 more historic games. Now this is what number is this now? This is their 4th?
Well, this one's a little bit different from the previous, I guess, I don't know, series they
Peg
put out.
Pastimes.
Yeah. So this one, they've put out Kickstarters before where they feature, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 ancient games in these little peg systems. And they've done like 4 waves of those, maybe more. So this one's different. These are bigger than those, and those are quite small. And they are full color now. And they're featuring some that they've featured in the past in a larger format with full color. Like this game is one of the ones that was already released by them. But now they give you a bigger board, full colored, and then so this is a little bit more of a display piece. It's
I like
nice.
these guys a lot.
Clever.
Yeah, it's cool.
We have a lot of their little games, their little peg games, and it's just neat to see games from all over the world. This World Game Ver is widely thought to be the first and oldest game that exists.
Really?
Yeah. Well, not that one.
Oh, okay.
The one from Did I tell you I saw it in the museum?
Really?
I'm game dropping now. All right, handcrafted dragon egg gemstone dice.
No. This was,
Let me get down the page, Joey.
I was actually surprised at how legible they were to have so much going on in them. I do think they did good.
It's really
with that.
zoomed in, though, don't you
It
think?
is, and that was the one thing I was going to say is I want to see a picture on the table from a distance, though.
this was a letdown.
Those dragons are adorable.
The artwork is great.
Yeah.
The dice.
If the font was just a little thicker, I'd be
It's a
on
little
board,
thicker.
I think.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them.
They're also sharp edge. I'm not a big fan of sharp edge dice.
I hate them.
A sharp edge 8-sided die.
I don't feel that strong.
Man, tell me some more, Joey. Do you
I'm just kidding.
Do you hate that one?
Oh, so bad.
Can you see it from that chair?
I can't. What's happening on the screen?
Do you hate this one?
Tell it to
It's
me.
right here.
Oh yeah. I forgot there's a closer screen.
All right, Joey hates them. Let's
The
move
purple
on.
ones are nice. I like
Yeah.
those.
Don't switch sides.
Ah,
David Thompson games. So David Thompson, it's interesting. He's very well known for, I guess, Undaunted is the biggest game that he's unknown
Oh.
that he's known for.
Jeez.
Although he's done a lot of games, and he does a lot of war games. This is solitaire games, and it makes sense then to have Dan Verzen do them for him. Although I think this is the first time I've seen Dan Verzen do something on GameFound. I believe they've been on Kickstarter before.
Post Kickstarter.
They do a lot of, you've seen them before, they're usually an airplane game. It's usually like Hornet something.
Got it.
And
okay, I'm sure I have seen them. Yeah.
a lot of their games. These look different. They're a little dark. Like, if I saw these on the shelf, I don't know that,
Yeah.
I would think that was like a book series, not a game.
I can't find anywhere on here gameplay or much about the game.
I think you're like just supposed to know that it's David Thompson, now buy it.
Right. I think
I
that's kind of
think
what I
so.
got through looking through this. Like, oh, cool. They expect me to come in with knowledge. This is not for me then. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is not the starting point. At least I should say. I don't know if I would like it or not, but like this is not the starting point then.
See, because I saw
Right.
that, I'm like, hey, maybe I'm interested. You know, that whole like that right there. I thought, oh, but then I couldn't find anything else, and I just moved on.
It's a cool series celebrating one designer. I think it's a nice idea.
Yeah.
And they're all solo games. So if you're a solo war gamer and you like some of his previous games, or you are getting into more war games and like the Undaunted series, but you're like, this is really light, I want to step it up. This is a cool set, you know what I mean? I like that they're offering. I'm normally not a fan of a project that is, here's 3 games all at once.
Right.
Here, it works for me.
Yeah.
All right. More war. This is on War on Terra. In the future, they have bad miniatures.
Spoiler.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I didn't see this
And a
one.
lot of icons.
Oh,
Gray
man.
factions.
This is, we often sometimes we say it's a good Kickstarter page. I really dislike this page.
Yeah, it's not good.
Because where's the game? I don't care about your faction symbols.
No, I know.
What am I backing?
Yeah.
And this blue
That.
outline of the
glows.
stuff on the black?
That glow is no good.
Right click, blending option, stroke. Here it is.
Again, this is a straight-up miniatures game, so probably not that interested in it anyway, but I would be turned off by this page. Because it actually makes this stuff look smaller and less interesting.
I agree.
When it should be showing me zoom in of the miniatures. Like, look at that. You can barely see it.
I can't even.
Like,
Yeah,
what
that
is
is
it?
hard.
You gotta
That's
put
really
some
hard.
blue glow on that.
You do. I wonder if they have that. They probably ran out by now.
Yes. The digital pen ran out. Now, this stuff is better. They should have let off with these pictures.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just not a well put together page. It's just not. You got to put your best foot forward, and they're not doing it. That's a bad image. You can't have that
Right.
on a black background. I don't get it. It's not even a bad looking mini, but
They had no light on it. I mean, it's wow.
All right, let's move on. So here's which could be one of those peg games we just looked at.
yeah.
This looks like Othello, looks like Go. It doesn't. I think that's going to hurt it to some degree that it doesn't look particularly unique.
Right.
Yeah, Meridians. This is a very, like, you can tell that this person is very serious about abstract games. Because you can tell right here from this image where they're, like, explaining the board breakdown and all that. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, they really care about that. And then I don't know, a tabletop simulator or whatever this is. Board Game Arena, that's what it is. The gameplay sounds incredibly thinky. The idea is all the pieces have to see each other to stay on the board. You need to check for straight lines
What?
among all of your pieces, or at the beginning of your turn, you can capture, like when your turn begins, you capture every opponent piece that doesn't have a line of sight to something else.
Sure, but
there.
I'm assuming as you place a piece, you instantly say, okay, these are blocked, these are blocked. Now
Yeah,
fix
and then
that.
they have their turn to not do
undo
that.
it.
Yeah, you have to be mindful of all of it. You know what I mean? I just wonder, like one round in versus 10 rounds in, my brain's gonna leak out of my ears. So
You cannot bump,
I am confused,
bump this
though.
table. It's all over.
He mentions that these are like a group, so they're all alive.
Those
Yeah.
are all
Then
touching.
how do you kill a group?
In the game, or
separated from everything, like. If you put in between those two, if you put something in between them, you kill both groups. Because they'll stop seeing each other.
All right, cool.
If you kill one and that was part of a group, you kill the group unless it stays alive another way. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry,
I would play
I
this.
zoned out
I might back this.
because it's way
I
abstract.
think it looks really neat. And plus, I think they have too many pledge levels. They're like cloth, small cloth, cloth on top of the wood, just the wood. The larger wood. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Ooh, I like
But
cloth on wood.
I liked
that I do.
I like the look of the game, though. I think it's a really classy looking game.
All right. Ahotnik.
That's right.
A mech-based semi-co-op. I'm out.
yep, semi-co.
I don't know
Game
why
in
they
the
said.
future.
It's
It's not-
weird that they say that at the top because they barely touch on it,
It doesn't.
later on.
Later on, I mean, what it is, it's team-based. And so I don't know why they're not selling it more team-based, because it's not.
Some people say
semi-co-op.
semi-co-op, and I don't mean that. They mean
Okay.
like it's kind of co-op, but you're on teams. You're cooperating with your
Okay.
teammates.
All right, because yeah, I think a lot of people are going to have that reaction just seeing the semi-co-op, and you're like, oh no, but a team-based game is different.
You do have aliens, though, that are attacking, and I do wonder if it's possible for everyone to lose.
Okay,
That-
yeah, because
that's
there
a little
is the
bit
NPC.
different. I can handle that better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what this is. And so
I like these standees, I think, better than the miniatures.
I do too.
Really, those minis are cool.
I wish they were acrylic.
Oh, I love
I
Smeed.
think just being the standard like white outline, because it actually surprised me
They
that
look
this is not
blobby.
doing better. Do what?
So you said you thought the minis look cool, but they look blobby. If I look at this picture, those standees kick the minis.
In the video, that looks cool.
Have you seen them on a black background?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
They look a lot better there.
I don't know. I think they look good.
They are
You don't
kinda
like-
cool
You don't like the
minis.
white outline on cardboard? You mean you want to see through it?
Yeah, I want the acrylic so you're really seeing the artwork. I think the white
Yes.
outline on the cardboard just kind of, it's a little cheaper to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
And
is,
so I would
right.
want, I think, my preference is minis and then acrylic and then cardboard last. Or maybe even tokens. If it's going to be cardboard standees, I'd probably just go for tokens
Yeah.
at that point.
I like to try this, but I'm worried. It's their first thing. It looks a little unpolished.
I like the whole where you have to match someone, the programming thing, you put it down, you try to match in order for your mech to do what you want it to do. That's clever.
Sounds interesting.
And what I
Yeah.
thought about it was there was different levels that it would hit as well. You know, if you match perfectly, then it goes off
Right.
perfect and you get the strongest. If it's a little bit off, you still get something. So because it has that it's not even limited, it's very limited communication with your partner, but you're trying to get that perfect match, but you still get something if not.
Right.
You know, and I did
do like
like
that.
I thought that there was, it wasn't as punishing as what I thought it was going to be with the no communication with your partner.
Yeah, this is one I want to try.
Same
That
here.
board looks busy as all get
It
out.
does.
But the game looks interesting.
Yeah.
And that one mechanism is enough for
Same
me to
here.
be like, okay, I'll give it a go.
That's clever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
It also seems like it's pretty simple gameplay. I mean, as it's going through how to play, there's just a couple steps.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you play down your cards, you reveal, and you respond, and then you have the NPC turn, and then you kind of clean up. It says different game effects will come into play. Pretty much game cleanup, depending on the scenario you're playing or something like that. And then it's back up to the top of the round. So I also like that, a team-based game that's going to be a little bit quicker and kind of keeping you active the entire time. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. I'd play it.
All right, don't get confused by this next project, Evolution Another World. So this is from, what's the company here? It's called Crowd Games. Okay, or Crow D Games, sorry.
Which one?
Well, there's a crow in the thing. I don't know.
Okay,
I think
no,
it's
I was truly
Crow D.
asking.
I
I
think
didn't
it's
know.
Crow
It
D.
is Crow D?
Okay, so Crow D has
Crow
made
D.
games for a while. They're pretty low. A lot of them have been fairly low quality. And they're here actually in Florida. But the company that originally made this game, Evolution, sold it to North Star
Yes.
Games. North Star Games said, hey, we want to remake this whole game. We want to change a lot of stuff. So the original company, I think it was Right Games, I forget who it was, and they said, well, can we keep selling our version? And they're like, sure, whatever. So this is that other version.
Yes. And again, kind of like a change on that. They've kept making versions and implementations of that. And this is another one of those. I have to say, though, this sounds pretty good. I love the things that they were sort of pointing out as different from the North Star version. Things like there's no more sort of out and out attacking each other's creatures, which was certainly a prevalent strategy in Evolution.
Oh, my word, yeah. It's like, I'm going
like-
to eat you.
Really?
Yeah.
Eat your creatures. There's,
So there's
no
less in
victory
this.
point scoring at the end of the game.
I'd see
And
that.
you just win by like evolving 3 characters. Bam. You do that first, you win the game. It sounded like a very streamlined version of the Evolution I've played, of that one,
Huh.
that, again, from North Star.
Well, that one was also very low quality. It was a single color cards. They were green
You
cards.
mean like their original
yeah, the
cards.
original one. This looks gorgeous.
I think this looks fantastic. It's very pretty. I think the gameplay sounds interesting. I love cards with powers anyway, and in this one you are building up your creatures by sticking powers on them.
That makes sense.
So you're evolving them. It sounds neat. I like the whole alien setting, so we can do whatever we want to thing is a great idea.
That's pretty clever as far as like evolution on a different planet. They'd evolve like this. I'm like, well, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
pretty
it's
cool.
legit. It's
Yeah.
real science.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna, when we get this, I'm gonna want to play this and the other Evolution back to back.
Yes.
But do you think this is going to be a good like jumping in point? Because I think Evolution I've been a little bit intimidated by. And I don't
think
know
so.
why.
I
I've never
think
played
it's
it, but I
lighter.
have. I don't know why. I don't know if someone explained it to me.
Did you play
and
Oceans?
I did.
Evolutions and Oceans are really similar.
Oh, interesting.
Evolution's actually easier than Oceans.
Oh, okay. All right. See,
Yeah, I
I don't
would
know
say
why.
so too,
Something
yeah.
in my head just had it caught. Maybe it's where the section I saw it in one of my old game stores was over with the like dominant
games.
species and things like that, which is another one I'm kind of so like, oh, okay, so I think I just have it
That's
in that
different.
category. I know, but I have it.
Dominant species is here.
But that's like where they kept it, and so it just has that association in my mind. So I've been intimidated. So anyway, maybe this isn't the jumping off point I need.
Yeah, I think this is lighter than all of that stuff. Though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Maybe
Oh,
this
which
would be
is
a
good
good
then.
jumping in point,
Yeah.
but
This is tempting. Like, I'm very on board with
I
this
like
one.
the artwork on this.
I really do, too.
I
I
mean-
hope that the quality... Again, Crow D games, I don't think I can remember any of their stuff off the top of my head. So I don't know about quality here. Like, production quality is what I'm talking about. The artwork looks great. If it's printed on cheap cards, that cheapens the whole thing for me. So I don't know, but I'm very optimistic.
Is that any of their stretch goals? Is like
That's what I was wondering, like
upgrades,
linen
what kind
finish and all that.
right.
But I like how you can kind of advance every single, make it flying, make it this, that. I mean, that's a really neat idea as far as those animals. Like, that's
All
really...
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like it.
Interesting.
I hope it does well. And Trespass Odyssey, the game that made 2.6 million, it made 1.4 the first day. So we'll tell you what this game's about because the three of us have played it. You
Okay,
have not.
go ahead.
They can't because they already forgot all the rules.
It's trick taking.
I definitely forgot. So that'd be a good guess these days, but no.
This is a humongous game, although I would argue this. I found this, even though I played the game a lot, I found this Kickstarter a little confusing. I'm like, are they selling a new game or the original game? And the answer is
Yes.
both. But Aeon Trespass is about as close to a role-playing game as a board game's going to get. It is gigantic. The three of us played a total of 10, 11, 12 hours, and
I
there's...
thought it was more than that.
This plug is not doing very well here. And there's so much more involved, and there's so much more to the game. We barely scratched it. I've played it longer than that, and I'm not going to finish it for a year. I have it set up in my house. I'm playing through it, but it is big. It is very rules heavy.
That being said, I mean, saying you're not going to finish it for a year, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing.
No, but
I wanna
people
be
need to
clear
know they're
about
getting
that.
into,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, for sure. I think they need to know that, but it's not like, oh, there's too much. I think for people, that we said this in our review even, this can be a lifestyle game or something,
can be.
like, I mean, you've run those Gloomhaven or not Jaws of the Lion Heart, just Gloomhaven campaigns or Frosthaven that you play through it for a year or two with your regular game group. This is a fantastic experience for that because you're going to keep those really heavy rules fresh and things. So I think this is really cool. Again, opening this back up, it is a massive production, and I think it's good that they're opening it back up so more people have access to it.
Right, and it makes sense to do on a Kickstarter too, because otherwise you couldn't.
I'm doing a series on this game actually currently. 2 of them are up already where I'm going through. I'm doing spoilers, but you can watch the first one and it shows you a little bit. And we also did a review on it. The game that we reviewed is this one right here, the $300 game. Comes with 3 books involved there. I have not even gotten close to finishing book 1. I'm not even halfway done with book 1. So there's a lot, and then there's 2 more books coming. Unfortunately, you missed it if you wanted to get it for a cheaper price, because this is almost double the price it was
It
originally.
is more than double, isn't it? Wasn't it $129, I
It was
think?
something like that. It was much,
When the
much
first
cheaper.
Kickstarter hit, you could get all of this jazz. I mean, it was...
Which is
this box
crazy.
is ridiculous. I mean, it's
massive.
enormous. For like $129, I want to say, and it's gone up to $300. Which, hey, you primed the pump, you know what I mean? They were like, it's untested. People didn't know what they were going to get, you know? So they came out, people saw it, they saw everything you could get, and they go, okay, great, you want it now? $300.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this here, you can get the $129. This is the new stuff, the Heracles. And I'm not quite sure. I was trying to figure it out if it's a completely different story, if it's the same universe. I'm not sure, because the original one takes place in an alternate Greek history where you're on this mega ship called the Argo, which is a city ship, and that's how big it is. And all the gods have died, and you are controlling Titans, the things that fought against the gods, to fight these primordials, which are humongous creatures. The first one you fight is a creature made of fists.
Ugh,
It probably shows it on here. He's
That guy.
punched us a lot.
he had a lot.
He is a knuckle mouth. Oh, look at that guy. I hate him, too.
He's got a baby hand.
Oh, look, there's a quote here from the old priest. He's a jerk. I hate the old priest.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah, but in my game, he got kidney stones, and I laugh. That's so great. He put kidney stones
He got
in it.
kidney stones?
He did. I was like, you deserve it.
What?
It's a little bit too much realism.
So strange. Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to get kidney stones. What?
There is-
Okay.
Like, if you get this game, this is almost the kind of thing where this is like that thing where, like, buy this game, and you'll never need another game again. It's not too far off.
It's really not. Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, though. If you don't like rules, keep that in mind. There is 80 pages of rules. There are rules on cards. There are rules in each scenario. There's a lot going on. I almost can play at this point for about 20 minutes without looking in the rule book.
It's impressive.
All right.
But I still look in the rule book a lot. And I also printed out lots of player aids and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's fun, but it's a lot. Oh, there's miniatures for the god forms? Oh, I got a god form, did I tell you?
No, did you?
What?
Yeah. It's not as, well.
Have you stopped killing your Titans, though?
No.
Oh.
Murdering them right and left.
How many are you down to now?
I'm down to like 6. Oh. Wow. All right. Thunder Rolls, the Garage expansion. That's just a really funny name for an expansion.
Yeah, yeah, and again, but this one's very much like the roller coaster one, which is very much original base game reprint forward. They're like, here's the expansion, here's some extra cards. Okay, you got it? Because the video, I watched the video. I swear it must be the video from the original campaign. At no
Really?
point in the video do they mention the garage expansion. It's all Thunder Rolls, which makes sense because you can't run the same Kickstarter twice. You have to do an expansion. You have to change something.
Right.
You know, the funniest one to me is still when they did the Claustrophobia 1643. They ran that Kickstarter, and then they ran it again. And since they can't just run the same exact thing, the Kickstarter, the second one was for the soundtrack. That's what you were.
Really?
That was what the Kickstarter was for. Was the
Yeah, yeah.
soundtrack,
But
and
really-
also you can get the game.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, got it, guys. Sure, the soundtrack is what you're funding. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I haven't played this. Have you tried this?
I have. I've reviewed it. You can look it on our channel. It's a racing game. In fact,
No.
if they get to this next thing,
Oh.
there's a Dice Tower racetrack.
What?
No. Is it shaped like a dice tower?
I don't think so. I think it's just called the Dice Tower 500.
Is it shaped like a big hat or something?
Oh.
No, it's just called that.
Does that mean you like the game?
I liked it. Yeah, it's a lot of cars going around.
Oh, it's a recent one.
Around and around. Yeah, I reviewed this last year. Actually, I took it to that mini con we went to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played it
The
with other people.
Tampa one. I didn't play with you at all.
Yeah, so this is Richard Launius, so there's a lot going on in it. It's probably a little more going on than you need, but you're drafting dice off these cards. And so when you draft the die, you're thinking about the die. Oh, I'm sorry, you put dice on the cards. It's very similar to Las Vegas.
No, okay.
Okay.
Okay, right.
So having the most dice in the card will give you special abilities. You're
Right.
also playing cards. But if you go too fast, then you take damage.
I mean, the main thing they're saying is that it's a fast-paced game.
It is.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in the meantime, Heat came out. And it's not as fast-paced as Heat. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a lot of phases, though. You know what I mean?
This is Heat's faster.
Okay.
Apex Legends, the board game, we did a paid playthrough of this game, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that I feel bad about this, but I had never even heard of the video game until we played the board game.
Yeah.
Too much Zelda.
Never too much Zelda.
Are you still playing it?
I am.
Oh, you're in it too?
My daughter bought it. Oh.
He's
Your daughter bought it?
Your daughter's like
Your
4 years old.
6-year-old
Okay?
daughter bought
Your
this?
daughter's like 2 years old. Okay.
Okay, nice try.
he's never played the first one though. That's what's weird.
What?
The first one, like back on the NES.
No, he never played Breath of the
Breath of
Wild.
the
He was
Wild.
playing Tears of the Kingdom.
People think you could jump into this one.
Yeah, right.
We're using
Yeah.
him as a test case.
Yeah.
Alright.
Spoilers in that first 30 seconds, that whole first cutscene. I'm like, oh, that happened.
Anyhow, we're not talking about Zelda. We're talking about Apex. This is a team versus team fighting game where you're shooting at each other that has, I thought we all agreed, a very innovative firing mechanism.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Very cool. Yeah, I love to see a game like this where you are, at first blush, you look at something like this and you go, oh, geez, another squad, shooty, bang, bang kind of game. But even if they have one central, really clever mechanism, it livens the whole thing up for me. And this one has that, and that sort of reveal cards to this track to simulate your aim, your shots, how much damage you did. I thought that was really good stuff.
Coupled with upgrading your guns and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and managing your ammo to make sure you have the right ammo and the right gun, that kind of stuff. It was just very simultaneously innovative and malleable, I guess, as you're upgrading, but simple and quick at the same time. You really can't turn over, hit, miss, whatever. So it's simultaneously innovative and complex enough to be interesting, but simple and just quick. And I think that was a really, really well done, really smooth experience.
And I have not played this, but this looks interesting. I mean, like, there are different spawn points you can move as well?
You spawn back in, I believe, and they now have a new solo mode, actually.
Really?
It was one of their newest, I guess, unlocked stretch goals.
This does look good.
I really enjoy. I liked the shrinking board idea too. That kind of feeling that tension.
Yeah,
that was one thing that's very interesting.
Right.
Yeah, that looks cool.
It's just, that one's straight up from all these video games where they
like
force you
Fortnite
into
type thing. Yeah,
they force you into a smaller and smaller area.
When I saw that, I thought, "Woo, that's really neat."
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, that's all the games that we have to look at today, folks.
That's it.
We'll be right back with some non-game stuff, but first let's hear from Mr. Mark.
Street.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark and this is Alita, and we just have a couple games to tell you about, so let's get to it. And first up we have Disrupt, where you have several different roles. You've got the entrepreneur, you've got the angel investor, you've got the BPO, and you have the market leader. Now, they all have different motives and different abilities and different ways to win the game. But what's neat about this game is how the worker placement spots work and the different card actions you could take. And I'm not a big economics type of game guy, but this game was pretty fun, so give it a closer look. And next up we have Apex Legends. Yes, this is based on the video game. And you know what? The neat thing here is that they did this amazing conversion from video game to board game. It feels just like the game. You have your different types of weapons you get. You have different types of characters that have unique abilities and powers that really mimic what you do in the video game. And then the 3D buildings and how you wage war against your fellow opponent and the battles in the 3D buildings, really well done. They just really captured the feel of the video game. And lastly, we have The Last Spell, where you're trying to hold the line as mages try to invoke the last spell to get rid of all the creatures. So it has this day and night cycle where you're fighting in order to keep the town alive just long enough. As every night the monsters come, and during the day you're going to build up your economy, your buildings, you're going to build up your defenses and your heroes to engage in battle in the night. And the neat thing again is that this was also a video game, and they did a fantastic job conveying the same feel in this one as well. And so, for my pick of the week, this was a pretty tough choice. Each of these games are pretty unique in their own way, and it definitely came down between Apex Legends and The Last Spell. And it was really close. Apex Legends captures the gameplay so well. It's a skirmish game, and it looks beautiful on the table. A really unique way they do combat. But I'm gonna give it up for The Last Spell because it truly has a lot of game. You really have to manage your resources and build up everything in the town and get new buildings, build up and fortify the buildings, fortify your heroes, and get them ready for the night phase as that purple mist keeps ever closer to the town. And again, you have to hold the line for 3 days and nights. All right, folks, if any of these games look like they might be of interest to you, please check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
All right, let's take a look at one of the big problems that we have in our world today are people who wear hats and hoodies.
Finally.
I will say,
Uh-oh.
this is, no, hear me out here.
Oh, brother.
This is all from like a cosmetic point, like, oh, I liked it because it looks so cool and I turn sideways and it falls off. But from a, like, wearing a hoodie in the wind, in the rain, something like that, like at a sporting event, and you pull the hood up over to like protect your ears, this is really cool. But that's not what it's being marketed as. It's kind of like, hey, do you want to look cool all the time and not have to keep putting your hood on? But from a functional standpoint, this is pretty cool. This is neat.
Because like when you're
It's
running,
basically a way to attach your hoodie to your hat.
Yeah.
to snap.
So I always thought it was not cool to wear a hat and a hoodie at the same time.
Well, it's very
You're also
cool.
not like inner city, so.
Yeah, no, it's very cool.
Is it?
Yeah. I will say this.
If I'm wearing a hoodie over a hat, it feels weird. I'm like, I'm just wearing the hoodie.
I know.
No, I
Again,
like that. If I'm
no.
in cold weather, I
Yeah.
like that feeling of being very much surrounded. I
The
like
hoodie,
this
yes.
idea. I don't like. Actually, I was on board. I'm like, this is cool. Yeah. What I don't like is that I have to buy the hoodie with that thing on it, and I wish
Yes.
he was selling
The thing?
the thing, and I can attach it to the inside
Whoa.
of a hoodie I already
Yeah.
like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want their hoodie.
How would that
Good
be, though?
point.
Would you like sew it on?
Or maybe it's like a command strip it on there or something. I
That
don't
you
know,
replace
like
every time
use
you
some
wash?
chewing gum that's been, recycled, repurposed.
Why,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm game, baby.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's terrible.
Why
I just don't
shooting
get, if you're wearing a hoodie, I don't know
jump
why.
shot.
Why do you have the hat
really
then?
like
Again, I just
that.
went through it. Like, if the wind is blowing real hard, or if it's cold outside, just something to protect your ears.
No, I know why you're wearing the hoodie. Why are you wearing the hat then?
It's
Because of the
stylish,
sun.
son.
How many times have you seen him without a hat on?
he's
No, that guy who's zealous, he doesn't care about the sun because his hat brim is flat. If your hat brim's flat, you don't care about the sun.
But you care about
true.
style, okay? You care about looking good.
That's why I
when
was
you go
asking,
out.
because I don't know nothing about style. Let's move on. HydraLamp. Do you want water on your bed?
I really don't
this is
want it this badly. I was like, okay, this is just weird. This is just awkward. Da 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 da. And then they show you everything it takes for you to do this. There's a giant. This lady has a giant water bag under her bed
Yeah.
that she has to drag out of there, take to the sink, clean,
Yeah.
refill, shove it under there, connect hosing that goes to her lamp.
I don't know why you wouldn't just have a Camelback by your back.
Yeah,
This is
sorry.
why-
No. Yes, I
God.
agree.
I mean,
Is it super cold?
No, that's
No,
the thing.
it's
It
not
doesn't even
cold
keep
at
it
all.
Why can't you just put a
cold.
water bottle there?
Right, which
it's not even, I mean, mixing in water with electronics. Let's move past that. And then, which is
It's
crazy.
safe. It's perfectly safe.
But then the fact that you lay in bed just thinking, I don't want to get up and go pee. So let me have the sound of running water. Right here.
inspirational. Like, ooh,
Oh,
I
that'd
do
be so
need to
annoying
get
if
up.
your partner's doing that too. You're like trying to sleep. You're like,
Yeah.
come on!
Perfect. Yes, I'm up again, aren't I?
I just don't. Yeah, this is crazy to me.
Actually,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
craziest thing about this one is that it's popular at all.
It's fun
It's
though.
doing okay. Yeah,
Right,
it's doing
142
okay.
people are backing this.
Yeah.
She's got that big thing
It's
under
for
her
all the
bed.
guest bathrooms.
Also, it's a very
Maybe.
specific lamp style. Like, you need to want this lamp in this style in your bedroom.
I would
You know?
definitely electrocute myself with this somehow.
Yes.
In the middle of the night, you're like,
That's true.
ah!
I love the little removable part in case you get water in there. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah. It has to land in there perfectly. It has to be barely a spill because it's like that deep. It's just ridiculous.
Also, isn't she using a glass? Is that a glass?
That is a glass.
Yeah.
I would knock that off.
broken
Yeah.
I
glass.
flail. I flail.
everywhere? Yeah.
Glass, water,
It's a
electronics.
sitcom situation. You
What
start a
could go
fire,
wrong?
the glass breaks, you step on the glass, you slip. That's actually more of a horror movie. Let's move on. Quackpacker.
It holds all your ducking stuff.
I was skipping the line, but all
I'm
right.
sorry.
So let's say you want to drive your boat, want to have a duck coming behind you.
She goes, even if you're offshore, you're still visible. How far offshore
Okay.
are you going to go with this?
Again, I feel like I'm coming to like defense these projects a lot here. But for a
Oh, good, defend
kayaker,
it.
but listen, for a kayaker, this is pretty cool because you know, a lot of the kayaks, they have little storage bins and components, you know, which keeps things waterproof. But I don't necessarily like, I want my wallet and my phone and that kind of stuff in there, but I
Yes.
don't want all the extra stuff, you know.
How much stuff are you bringing?
How far are you kayaking?
It depends. I mean, what about like if I'm kayaking out to like an island to do a lunch or something like that? I mean, I've
You
gone
want a
on
duck
like
with you?
Yes, to carry, to tow this stuff behind.
Are you backing this?
I'm not, because I don't have my kayaks anymore. I got rid of them about a year ago.
Would you?
lucky.
Would I don't know if I
consider
would
it.
back this or if I would just be like, that's a really good idea. Let me go to Five Below and make one.
Thank you.
Here's what I'm worried about. It's very tall. I'm worried about it tipping over.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or a boat comes
I don't
by
know,
with
because I don't-
with the
I
wave.
think-
Any wake was going to tip it over.
I don't know.
I don't know. I also did not
Maybe,
like
I don't know.
the way. I like your idea much more than the foot they're putting forward here.
I like how you guys
Yes.
put so much thought into the style of the
I don't
hood
like
over
the
hat.
fact that the
and
lady
now
in
you
the
want
video-
a kayak with a duck.
I don't mind that. It's pretty cool. I like the idea of towing it on a canoe or
think it's
kayak or
cute.
whatever. That's a great idea. What they're showing you here, though, is, hey, you're going swimming. Tie this thing to
Yeah,
yourself.
she didn't have a kayak.
Yeah,
That's what she
tethered
did. Yes.
To her midriff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're walking, so it's like, that just sounds really uncomfortable.
Yes,
I'm sorry, no. It's not a wrist, then you yank it like you would a small child in public. You put it on your,
He has no children.
I've seen it, okay? I've been to Walmart. You put this around your midriff and you walk out there towing this duck behind you. I don't know. I think if you
Yeah.
go to a crowded beach with this thing, trailing you, you're asking for trouble. Some
yeah,
kid's going
I
to
agree.
jump on it.
Yep.
It's going to be a whole thing.
All right. Yeah. Last but not least,
Oh, this one, I thought this was a dog slingshot at first.
I didn't know what was happening.
I was so
Dog catapult.
I was so scared to click
yeah.
play. I'm like, what's about
I
to
didn't know
happen
where this was
to
gonna
this
go.
animal?
the
Right.
problem with this is, I could see, like, if they made this for a human, you'd come in and your kid would be, no, like something, anything, the human would be all caught up, and
Yes.
you get a wiggly dog in here, something's going to go wrong. One of these things is going to snap, and they,
The dog's just going to be able to like pull its limbs out of there and jump off. It's kind of crazy. It's also enormous. I did not realize how big this was until there. And I'm like, my goodness, this is large.
yeah, but you can try clothes on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is kind of a missed opportunity, kind of like that shopping cart that we saw the one time that follows you through the center, how that should have been marketed to like specific stores to invest in. This should have been marketed towards like vets or vet technicians, something
Right.
like that, you know, for like
Groomers.
groomers. Yeah,
Groomers.
like a
I can
portable
see
dog
groomers.
groomer. I can see them having one of these because it's, you know,
Absolutely.
compact,
How
that
much
kind
does
of
it
stuff.
cost? I've never groomed taken a dog to a groomer. How much does
lot.
it cost?
I don't know. I have short-haired dogs. I don't like the long hair.
Like $70 or
I'm
something.
And then I do
considering
their
it because
nails
our
myself.
dog is like, you know, covering our house with carpet.
I know, like, to take them to, like, PetSmart or something like that to get them, like, washed and stuff for my extra large, like, over 100-pound dogs was, like, 35 or 40 each. And I was
that's not
like,
too bad.
So I did that, like, a couple
Do
times.
they take large humans as
We're getting
well?
robbed.
I'll look into it for you.
I would go there. They can tie me up to that thing and just like.
Would you lay in this, though? Would you?
It's cheaper than some
What on
pets, man.
earth?
They'll be like, all right, just wash it.
He's,
I'm good.
Hey, walking careful.
No tear shampoo. Hit me
He's-
with that stuff.
He's a biter.
I'm good. Hey, man, whatever. I got to shave it and trim it. I hate doing it. I need one of these. I want to sleep like this.
All right, well, this is Z's pick of the week for
There we go.
himself.
Sounds fun.
What is your real pick of the week?
My real pick of the week, man, I'm split between a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of good
This was-
projects this
There really
week.
are.
I think I'm going to go with Evolution.
Ooh, I was
Really?
wrong.
That was a good one.
I think I'd say Wishland.
Wishland's great, too. I
know.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, this was by
is a
far
Good week.
the best week we've had in a while. I could have easily picked one out of like 5 things. There
I
really
agree.
are quite a few good things. I think
agree.
this one looks whimsical, charming, very accessible. My only beef here is my usual beef with smaller Kickstarter projects, and that is there's nothing. I could just wait and buy this probably. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whereas if it's like
Yeah.
a big miniatures thing, and here's a stretch goal, here's the thing, and you end up paying the $100, but you get 6 boxes. Whereas later on, just that one box is $100. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here, why am I backing this now? I mean, if it's getting made anyway, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I get the supporting them and all that stuff, but I could just probably buy this later on. It's my only issue. I think the game looks great. Looks fun, charming, like I said, and just easy to play. That's a big plus.
I
So
agree.
Evolution, another world.
All right. My pick is going to be and Trespass Odyssey. I considered a lot of stuff, actually. This
You
is...
should back it again.
Might not play it twice.
I mean, this is like really in my brain right now. Like I said, I got the gods from I got a nymph.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm starting to get some cool stuff. Also, I'm getting killed all the time and beat up. It's a very difficult game, but there's a lot in it that I like. And the story, I really love the story. I think the story is fantastic. I keep finding interesting things. I'm hoping that there's some payoff to the story as we go by. But yeah.
Good to hear that you're still liking it, because I know that was one of our high points of it, is the story.
Yeah, I love the story on that.
All right, Joey, what about you?
It's back and forth. So many good. Detective, Wishland, Apex.
You can't say them all. Just
I'm
pick
actually
one.
going Dead Cells. I like this. Just
Yes, that's
it
another
looks
one.
That was another one I
good.
was split
All the
between,
ones
yeah.
you just said, I could easily be my pick of the week.
Easy.
Yeah.
This is a rough week
is.
because that looks good.
It's a really good week, which makes it really rough.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so
I
that's,
agree.
there's a lot of good stuff. The side scrolling, I mean, so many mechanics in this. It looks really good. And I haven't played the game like you have, but it just looks good. Artwork's great. Yeah, this one I'm excited about trying this one.
Yeah. I'm going with I think one we haven't said yet is Wishland, but same thing.
Yeah,
Everyone, I'm
see?
so glad you guys picked different ones to represent them. But Wishland, I agree that it's very game forward, expansion second. You know, it is about getting the game. But as someone who hasn't played the base game, I think I really kind of appreciated them putting that effort into telling me about the game so I understood it. And then also looking at the expansion. So I love theme parks. I didn't realize y'all liked this one so much.
Yeah, show her the quotes again.
Yeah, I mean,
Hit it with the quotes
from what I
one time.
understand.
Here's what I think of it. You want to know what I think of it?
Do you have a
I'll
hood
tell you
on?
what I think of it.
Oh, you don't have
I think Wishland is a whimsical, engaging, and dynamic. It uses the setting beautifully.
Oh, does it?
creates smiles and tough decisions in equal measure.
Fantastic. Well, I'm in. I'm
very much
definitely
recommend.
intrigued. No, I really am
The
intrigued
game
by
was
this.
fun, Tom Vassell.
No, I really think that this pulled me into that. I love the
I
theme,
agree.
and I like. It looks like it is going to be a little bit more complicated and thinky, which I like that in this. You know, really building up the park and having some of those tough decisions. So
Yeah.
I'm
It looks really good.
excited. Yeah,
good.
looking forward to it. Want to
Good.
try it.
I saw
Sure.
Mike Delicio's pick was Dead Cells.
Yes.
Ah.
So.
Good one, too.
Alrighty, folks, that's it. Don't forget to go back to the very beginning of the episode. There's a contest that you can enter to win one of these cool things right behind us here. So, anyway, we'll see you all tomorrow morning for Board Game Smorgasbord. Until then,
Smorgasbord.
I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun at the amusement park.